Welcome back to Music Laughs and Other Stuff. I'm your host, Gerry Dee. On the phone with me right now is a Canadian comedy icon, I guess you could call him. He was on Just for Laughs, Comedy Now, The Score. He's doing a date in St. John's on the 30th at Holy Heart Theater, which you can get tickets for at GerryDee.com. And his website gave it away. It's Mr. Gerry Dee. Hello, Gerry.
How are you?
Hello. All right. What they don't know is this is our second attempt.
Yeah, I had a bad connection there.
You had a bad connection, but that doesn't mean we're not meant for each other.
That's right.
All right, so I'll just ask you the same question I asked you just earlier. What got you into stand-up?
I don't know. I think I just always had the urge to try it. I watched it a few times, and I kind of was always told I was funny amongst my friends, but it kind of was enough to try it. Then you realize quickly that being funny with your friends is a completely different thing than standing on stage in front of a public audience. So it took me a while, as it does most comics, to try to find my audience and my voice, and I was lucky I did.
So was that always a conflict? Because I noticed that you played varsity hockey and stuff. So I assumed that you were an athlete in high school. So were you into theater at all?
No. I did nothing along the lines of acting and performing. So it is a I was a jock, and yeah, it's a weird transition for athletes to go into entertainment and stand up, but some have done it. I mean, I wasn't a real high level athlete by any means, so it gives me a different take on things. Certainly, it's a fun transition to make.
Anytime I hear the word jock, I always picture like a 1950s drive-in, and he's got that convertible. He has a Cadillac, and he has his Letterman jacket on his girlfriend.
No, I was, in anything I did, I was never the best player at it. So I was just always, capable, I guess, and good enough to make varsity, and but never the dominant player type thing.
What position did you play?
I was a forward in hockey.
Nice. I play a bit of beer league myself.
There you go, buddy. Dominating the beer leagues.
I don't even drink.
I know. I don't drink much either.
Yeah.
I never drink beer, so.
So it's this league to me. And the beer is obsolete. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'll have a water.
That's right. Me too. I was the same way.
I remember you had a joke about that, about coolers.
Yeah. I don't drink beer. I've never liked it. So.
So even now you don't. So what do you do after a show?
I don't. You know what? I don't even really drink alcohol at all anymore. It kind of was like my bachelor days, I guess. Now I got 3 kids, so to come home hungover from a road trip is no fun with 3 little kids.
That's the thing, though, man. Like, comedy is synonymous with drinking.
Yeah, I certainly drank my share of alcohol in my early days to, sometimes, liquid courage type thing, and sometimes just to party, single guy. But, that changes as you get older.
Yeah. I never know what to do because, I mean, I don't know if this is where you were when you started out, but, like, even now, I've been doing comedy for almost 5 years, and even now, you still get paid sometimes with beer.
Yeah.
It's like
one of my first paid gigs was at the Laugh Resort here in Toronto, and I got $10 and 2 drinks at the bar or something.
Yeah, and it's like I don't even drink,
ever
man.
To get paid. $10.
That's $10. Man, that's something though.
Yeah, well, when they're paying you, that means that you're doing something right, no matter how much.
Exactly, and you could have invested that in Google.
Yeah, that's right.
You could have been rich by now.
I know.
For some reason on IMDb, your mini biography ends with Gerry is a 2 handicap in golf. That's how it ends.
Yeah. Well, now it's a 6 handicap, but at the time I wrote that, or whoever, probably me wrote it. It was a 2. So kids will do that to you.
I thought, okay, you wrote it. All right. I thought that was just some random guy. Oh, by the way, he has this in golf.
Could have been an agent. Could have been me. I don't know.
What was it like? What was it like working with the Score, doing that? I gotta ask. There were some interviews because I used to watch it all the time, and there were some interviews where you've done with people, and they just looked really mad. Like, was that genuine sometimes?
Yeah, no, most of that they knew ahead of time. Like the Ultimate Fighter, that was probably the one that people thought was most real. But no, he knew it was. We were just playing. They might have got a little mad sometimes. I remember Keith Kachuk was a little bit thrown, but Chelios was a little thrown. But they're not really mad. They're just flustered, and sometimes they just can't be bothered with that.
That's too bad. They were funny.
Most were great. Most were really good about it.
So, congrats on your show.
Thank you.
Which season begins January 2013. That was over half a year ago.
Yeah, it starts February 24th.
Is that the third season?
That's the third. Yeah.
How do you like that? Is that what's TV like? Like acting on TV?
It's fun. Yeah, it's a dream come true to take your stand-up act and make it a sitcom. So I'm very fortunate. And
you have a book?
Yeah, a book's been out for a bit now. Teaching It's Harder Than It Looks, and yeah, it was fun writing a book. It was a different thing for me to do that, because it's something I never planned on doing this early in my career. So, but it's done quite well. I was surprised.
So the gist of your material, are you one of those comics that you sit down and you write, or you one of those comics?
I work it on stage.
Yeah, do it on stage.
Yeah, I've come up with a premise, and I'll say I'll try that premise tonight, and then I just go up and try to figure it out at a comedy club or on a stage somewhere.
And is that how is that you just keep it in your mind and just keep working it kind of thing?
Yeah.
So who your favorite like did you like comedy in high school at least or college?
No, zero. I didn't know anybody. I thought Richard Pryor was an actor. No, I didn't know anything about stand-up comedy. Delirious, Eddie Murphy, that's the only thing I'd ever seen.
That's a great special.
Great special. He was 21 years old when he did that, which blows my mind.
Yeah, no, the man doesn't age. Like, he's in his 50s now, and he looks like 20 still.
Yeah, that was a legendary show for its time, and yeah, that was the only thing I really saw. I grew up watching John Candy and Michael J. Fox and John Ritter and comedic actors, but not stand-ups.
So who are some of your favorites now that you know about,
I like Brian Regan. I think he's fun to watch. Yeah, I don't really watch a lot of stand-up, even now, right? It's like, it just with 3 kids, anything I watch is usually sports-related, and then you go to bed. But, yeah, Brian Regan I always find interesting, and Louis C.K. obviously does a great job. There's a few guys there.
Is your team the Leafs?
Yes.
Should we talk hockey? Would you? I'm not a Leafs fan, but we can talk hockey.
Yeah, whatever you want.
I'm a Canucks fan.
Yeah, I'm just a fan of hockey, but obviously growing up in Toronto, I've been a Leaf fan as far back as I can remember. So, and they used to have the St. John's Maple Leafs there too, and I know some guys that grew up playing there. It was great to have our farm team. It's probably a bit too far for the management, but I loved having it there. I think now it's Winnipeg's, I think, and
it is. Yeah.
I'm glad there's hockey there again, because it's a great arena and a great hockey, town to not have it. So, and I think that the players love playing there.
What's your predictions for this season?
I don't know. It's tough. It's a long way to go, and it's certainly, I think a lot of winning the cup is based on injuries, and if you don't have them, when you peak. So the Leafs are doing very well, and for us as a fan base, it's getting into the playoffs, which has been few and far between lately, and we had a taste of it last year, and we hope they go further this year.
Who do you like as the starter for you guys?
I don't know. I think they're both great. They're certainly I don't know. I've seen some really good games from both of them. Bernier seems to have this 1 weak soft goal every game, but stands on his head the whole time. So I think they're both great. They're both right up there in the save percentage, and funny enough, Ben Scrivens, our old goalie, is one of the top guys right now in the league. Quietly doing really well.
He was better. I would have kept him over Reimer.
He hadn't been around long enough to know, I think, and they'd seen a lot of great things from Reimer. So
Bernier, I like Bernier though. He's sealing. He was a guy that got he was with LA obviously, so he never got a lot of time. But he's been in the league for a while. He was always a good goalie.
Yeah. He's no, I'd say he's the real deal too.
He is. But I like the Leafs. I had a stint with the Leafs when I was younger, but I didn't know anything about hockey. So
there you go.
I was like, all right, I'm gonna. But Luongo, I'm a goalie, so Luongo drew me to the Canucks.
Oh, he's great. Yeah, he's a good guy too. I've met him, and he's a real personable athlete.
He is, and the whole mess with the Corey Snyder trade and
stuff.
He
played that well. He did. He handled that well. It's a tough thing to be involved in, I would think.
Oh yeah, definitely. But they're buddies. But I have a heckler question, Gerry. Do you have any memorable stories of a heckler?
No different than anyone else. Just you're bound to get them, and it makes you stronger, and you're dealing with them, and sometimes it's awkward in your early days because you're not really sure how to deal with it. But I was a lot older when I started stand-up than most people, so I'd been through experiences and more experiences. I think I had a little better chance. But I couldn't imagine being a 19-year-old kid just getting heckled. But it's never fun. But no, I don't have one isolated story. Just generally just people talking when you're talking is the worst thing.
What do you normally do? Because you're a clean comic, right?
Pretty clean, yeah. I generally ask questions, they'll usually burn themselves by answering them. These usually aren't, doctors and lawyers and teachers. These are people that, have a job that may be funny or, they're slow. They'll slur their speech. I mean, it's just kind of keep letting them talk. Usually the best way, and they'll dig themselves into a hole.
So you've never have you ever had to go off on someone? Has it ever gotten that bad where you just need to?
Maybe once or twice. I don't go off. I just ask them to get them out. But once they're ruining the show for the other people.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not at a stage now where I get hecklers because they're usually paying a high price to see me and they want to be there. So hecklers usually come when you don't match their style or they're drunk or. Now, if I get a heckler, they're just accidentally heckling me because they're so drunk, but they're still fans, right? So I handle it a lot differently.
Excuse me. You won the 2013 Canadian Screen Awards, best performance.
Yeah, that was a nice little feather in the cap to be recognized by the industry for my acting because I've had some awards in comedy and they're always nice to get, but acting. Something that's new to me, so that was a great honor to get that.
It's great, man. You're doing really well. You're doing really well for yourself.
Thank you.
Do you plan to keep doing comedy for as long as you can?
Yeah. There's no plan to stop right now.
The trains are rolling, man.
Yeah.
The train is rolling. Your signature bit, I would assume, would be your the beer lick the honey bit.
Yeah, that seems to be the one that people know me for, and that was years and years of, getting that bit to a place where it was ready, and I got to do it a lot, and now obviously I don't do it anymore because if I do, it's just kind of a throwback bit or something. But no, that was a fun bit to do, always was, and it certainly took off probably more than I thought it would.
How long do you usually keep your material?
Well, now I have to change it up every 18 months, pretty much. Because I go back to a city in that time.
Do you find it difficult?
Yeah, it is. It's difficult because I had 8 years the first time. Now I got 18 months.
Do you write a lot about? I haven't seen a lot of your recent stand-up. Do you write a lot about family or?
Yeah, whatever is in my world, family. Still some teaching stuff, and still stories. I got a lot of stories from that, but a lot of family and just daily life stuff. Do
you miss teaching at all? Is that something that you go back and do?
Yeah, I miss parts of it, but no. I mean, I'm real happy what I'm doing. But generally, no, I don't miss it, but I miss parts of it for sure.
I'm actually I'm in to be an English teacher.
Oh wow! So
yeah.
Like me, former teacher, comedian.
Mm-hmm. Most people, most comics not most, but a lot of comics I've spoke to, both local and not local, have either been in some kind of teaching situation like this, going to school for teaching, or know someone. Like, it seems like a lot of comics follow that teaching road?
Yeah, it's funny. I don't know any that are making a living now. That but I shouldn't say making a living, but I know there's a few that float around here that dabbled in teaching. But I taught for 10 years full time. But there are a lot of teachers that substitute, and it's a great supplementary job to do stand-up. That's for sure.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think they all allow them to go to the teaching?
I don't
know.
I think it's just scheduling.
Oh, do you think it's like the classrooms, like an audience kind of thing?
Yeah, I think it's just in the schedule, right? You get summers off, and you can do it at night and stuff. You needs to be, the first thing I tell young comics is make sure you still get an income from something else, right? So
yeah,
you need to free up your nights.
What was that feeling like when you realized you could make a living with comedy?
Yeah, I don't know. I was always making a living teaching. So once the comedy, got to a level where I was making a living doing that, it was just more money. I never went through the stress of, like a lot of comics, of sleeping on couches, and I always had money. I was always a comic with money because I was a full-time teacher. So it was a very different pressure for me to get jobs and get work, and I think that's, what helped me a lot is I didn't have to fight for that stuff. It was, if I got a gig, I got a gig. It wasn't stressful. So
do you still keep in contact with people from high school or university or anything?
Yeah. I got lots of friends from there. I got about 2 more minutes here, and then I got to go on to something else, just so you know.
Okay, that's fine, yeah. Are they surprised about the fact that you're doing comedy, like the fact that you're this theater guy now?
They don't care, right? Your friends from your past are just your friends, and they're, they don't. I don't even know if they watch my show or, they're proud of me, and that's generally the case of anybody that's made it. That your friends and your family are, they don't like you for anything but just the fact that they prefer that, probably the old Gerry, where when I went out, I didn't get recognized, because I think it takes away from being out with them, right? They're always asked, can you take a picture? Can you take a picture? So it's not fun going out with that for them, but I know they recognize it, and they're proud of it.
That's right. And your wife supports you, obviously, I assume?
Yeah, all my friends and family are supportive, and they're happy for my success.
Well, I look forward to your show. How have because you had a show on the 15th in Ottawa? Yeah,
it was good. Yeah, the tour's been going well, and hopefully we'll get a lot of people out in St. John's. But it's always fun to go to that city. That's for sure. I enjoy it there.
So you're on the road till April, is it?
Yeah. And then I stop for hopefully filming another season of Mr. D, which we'll find out in probably March.
That's a long time, man. Well, good luck with it. And,
thank you. We'll see you on the 30th.
I will. I'll see you at Holy Arts Theater.
All right,
you can get tickets at GerryDee.com. And thanks for calling in, Gerry.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
See ya.